Shalom, first and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor, which is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of great Musa and rule well, and lead the flock by example, and shalom to the Lord's elect. Okay, starting with 144,000. And yeah, I wanted to get straight into it. Europe had a heat wave, and they're saying that there's going to be more heat to come, this summer. And pretty much, it's the World Health Organization is saying that it's caused around 1,300 deaths. I think that might 1,000 of them might have been in France alone, from what I remember reading. And you had infrastructure, train lines getting melted. Um, you know, crazy heat, man. All right, and I was watching Apostar's video on it, and he mentioned we don't know if it's Esau's weather manipulation or whether it's the Lord jacking the place up, but ultimately, it's through the Lord, and the Lord's visiting the earth, man. There's a scripture in 2 Ezra 9, which I'm going to read now. This is 2 Ezra 9, chapter 2. It says, "Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made." All right, so the Lord is actually visiting this place, okay, through prophecy, through judgment, and jacking these places up, right? It says this is BBC News. It says Europe's heat wave linked to 1,300 deaths. Who World Health Organization says as Germany hits record 41.7. Temperature records were broken across the continent again on Sunday, including Germany, Poland, and the Czech Republic, as the extreme heat continued to move east. Heat stress is often called the silent killer, and European homes, workplaces, and schools were not built for these temperatures. Yeah, because a lot of them are usually built to keep temperature in, because it's mainly cold. And it's interesting because even the fact that, like, for example, when my family would go overseas on holiday when I was younger, and we'd go to like Turkey, for example, where we have family where my parents are from. One of the things I remember being told growing up was between like when it was high noon, let's say any time between you're coming up to 12 midday till about 1 or 2, when the sun's at its highest point, you don't want to be out under the direct sun like that. Most people would be in shade, but at home, if they're in their workplaces, they'd be under the AC unit, trying to remain cool. You wouldn't see a lot of people kind of walking out and about. Obviously, you still would, but it was a known thing. If you was young or if you was particularly elderly, it wasn't recommended for you to do that. And a lot of the people that did that, they're saying that the figures that they're giving of the people that died, they said a lot of them were elderly. Okay, and hey, extreme heat, man. Extreme heat is a way to kill, to die from. Now, when that heat gets, I had to say this, when the heat gets turned up to the point where you're gonna get that thermonuclear heat. Okay, that's one of the judgments of the Lord too. Okay, one of the major judgments, and the major place that's gonna hit is America. The Lord, the scriptures actually tell us, all right, and it's not talking about. This isn't talking about these heat waves. It's talking about that day of judgment when the nukes hit America, right? Right, but I had to read it because ultimately, the Lord's coming with that fire. This is Malachi chapter 4, verse 1. It says, "For behold, a day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that shall leave them neither root nor branch." All right, heat is a hell of a way to die, man. And that thermonuclear heat from the nukes dropping, that's the ultimate, judgment here on earth, man, that we can, that the Lord's going to put us through. All right, that's Zechariah 14 and 12. Okay. But yeah, the Lord is visiting this place which he made, man. You're getting, we're going back to 2nd Ezra 9. He had major earthquakes in Venezuela. People died from that. So the Lord is constantly judging this place. Now I'm going to get another scripture. I'm just going to quickly look for it on my other Urim. Bear with me. Everyday judgment. Bear with me. Fourth. Right, I think it's right. So it should be Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 5. The just Lord, Yahweh, is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. So every day there's judgment going out on the earth, man. And the Lord is the one that's in control of the issues of life and death. Okay? So this heat wave, these people dying from it is an example of that. Okay? And Esau, he's got his weather manipulation technology, okay, where crazy things could be happening, man. Earthquakes, tsunamis, okay. I remember a couple of years ago in Turkey, one half of the country was being flooded, the other half of the country was on fire. And it's funny because the scriptures talk about the water and the fire, representing destruction. And it's just interesting that the Lord is bringing all these different judgments upon the earth, and things are only just going to ramp up. This is going to ramp up more and more. Okay, this is just one little example. There's going to be many, many more deaths, man, through pestilences. In fact, let's get that in 2nd Ezra 15. Not 1st Ezra, 2nd Ezra 15. And 6. Well, 5. It's 2nd Ezra 15, verse 5. It says, Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. So the Lord's said it, look, I'm gonna fuck this place up. Why? For wickedness have exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and their hurtful works are fulfilled. All right? And the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The wickedness is all around, man. All about the earth. There's the vibration of wickedness. So the Lord ain't happy with that. He's looking to judge this place. He's visiting the place that he made. Okay? And things are going to ramp up more and more into what? You got the nukes flying. You're going to have, chaos, martial law, people killing each other left, right, and center, cannibalism. Okay, Leviathan. The chariots are going to, start zapping people. It's going to get crazy. The day of the Lord, man, the judgment. So, things are only going to more, ramp up more. And that was just an example of the Lord's judgment coming to light, man. Okay? And you're going to get more and more deaths and more judgment, through these earthquakes, these heat waves and different things of that nature that are going to come upon the people, man. Okay? So, hey, we got to stay prayed up and just watch the judgment of the Lord unroll, man, So with that, Lord willing, it's been an edifying lesson. With that, I'm going to say shalom. Shalom to the Lord's elect.